A very good morning, students. So, myself Kalpana Kothari, and I am here to continue our next lecture for the topic The Rise of Nationalism in Europe. So, children, as earlier we have discussed about how the French Revolution, I am just repeating your previous videos content in a very short manner, that we have discussed about how the French Revolution became one of the most significant event to spread the idea of nationalism in the all the European states. Okay, and then we talked about the all the, you can say, the structure of the French society. Then we talked about that how they changed the color of their royal flag into a democratic flag. Then we have discussed about that how the aristocracy, okay, that who were the people who come under the aristocrats in the France or the other European state who follow the pattern of monarchy system. That all thing we have discussed. Okay, now we are continuing that the new middle class. When we say the word new middle class, it means something has heard in the European state during the 18th and the starting of the 19th century, that earlier the whatever middle class section was there, it was dramatically changed. Their aspiration, their demands changed economically, politically, and then they start the liberal nationalism. Okay, so here we are going to discuss that what is all about the new middle class when we talk about in the all the European states. Okay, how it has emerged as a new middle class, what were their objectives towards the liberal nationalism. We are going to start it. Okay, so under the subheading the aristocracy and the new middle class, okay, in the chapter the rise of nationalism in Europe. Western part of Europe, in the western part of the Europe, the industrial production and trade meet the growth of towns and emergence of commercial classes. What has happened that gradually up to the 18th century and the first half of the 18th century and the starting of the 19th century, western part of the European region, that there was a dramatically, you can say, development of the industrial production. Okay, just because of the industrialization, and we know that if there is a increasement of industrialization, then definitely what will be happen, that there will be the growth of the towns. Okay, and the emergence of, there was an emergence of new commercial class. Yes, when there was a industrialization was at its pinnacle and it just developing in the European state, especially we are talking about the western part of the Europe. Okay, later it has reached to the England, then Germany, and then France. Okay, some part of the German state, that how the emergence was increased, and there was a situation that the new type of middle class people, which were basically involved the business class. Okay, then the industrialists, how they were emerged in these European states, and after their emergence, okay, because they all come under the new middle class. Okay, that how they you can say inspire themselves, how they attach the idea of their economical political freedom with the nationalist feeling. We are going to talk about it, that when there was a industrial product and a trade mean the growth of towns and emergence of commercial classes was in the European state, and industrialization began in England, Germany, and the France. Okay, in England the industrialization began second half of the 18th century. First it was started in the England, and it was the second half of the 18th century. Then the German states and then France. Okay, the industrialization increased and it has developed up to the 19th century. Okay, and then the industrialization, when we say industrialization, it resulted in the creation of a new social groups in the European state, including some German parts, then France and in England, which was basically a working class and a middle class population. Okay, when we say the creation of the new middle class, it means we are talking about basically the working class people. Okay, because industrialization increased, so who will be the people who will work in the factories, or you can say workshops, the educated also, or you can say the every sort of the people who are having the different skill. Okay, they work collectively, get the opportunity to do something to earn their livelihood. Okay, the working class, the new working class and the middle class population increased in the part of the England, German state and France. Okay, so now when the new middle class people, it means the working class population increased just because of the industrialization. First industrialization has held. Okay, then after that the towns increase, the number of towns. Then when the towns increase, it means the population, because everybody wants to get the opportunity to do something. It is a basic concept, even it is implemented in this century also, that the all developed city, if you talk about, if you take the example of your own Dehradun, so it was not so much developed in terms of to get the employment opportunity. Okay, it is famous for schooling, the best schools can be found here. But when we talk about to get the opportunity of job, okay, or career point of view, then we must require that we will go for the IT sector, we will select the Bangalore or Delhi, Calcutta. These are the metropolitan city, so the people used to shift there. That's why in these area, in these cities, the population is higher than the, you can say, our own state, because there is a job opportunity. Okay, so when the industrialization increase in the some European region, okay, then automatically it means working class people or the population increased. Okay, and then we are talking about that when we say middle class population increase, it means they included the industrialist, then the businessman, first one industrialist, then the businessman and the professionals. Okay, these were the main three category of the people when we say the new middle class emerged during the first half of the 18th century in England and in German state and the France during the 19th century. It means we are basically talking about the new middle class or the working class, which was included industrialist, then businessman and third professional. And then among them, who were the people who included basically that educated liberal middle classes. Okay, we will talk about what is liberal middle classes, who wants certain type of freedom in their different field of arena. Politically they want a separate type of freedom. Economically they want to free from the various type of barriers. Okay, when they transmit the goods and services from one state to another state. And then we are talking about these working class, okay, which included the educated and the liberal middle class people. The idea of national unity following the abolition of aristocratic privilege gained popularity. Now we can see that in French Revolution, the third estate people were against the autocracy because they want their equal rights. Okay, they were humiliated by the monarch. Now the economic sector also, the working class also, okay, they also found that their rights are also violated under the monarchy system, and they want that there should be a certain type of freedom and liberalism or liberty in their economic field also. That's why they started to spread the idea of national unity, and they under this they want new working class I am talking about. Okay, new working class people wanted that there should be the end of all the privileges. It means which was based on the birth. It means they want to abolish, to eradicate the monarchy system, and they want that there should be a equal rights and opportunity should be given in their economic field also. Okay, so you can take that the meaning of liberalism or the nationalism is different for the different section of the society. Okay, but all they wanted that there should be a fair means of, or you can say, opportunity and availability and equality among the people. So liberal nationalism, what do you mean by it? The word liberal is itself a Latin word, and the meaning of the liber is free. Okay, free. The word is a Latin word. Liberal is a Latin word which is derived from the word liber and which means free. Okay. So what type of freedom they want? Okay. For new middle classes, liberalism stood for individual equality. The new middle class, whenever I will say the new middle class, it means I am talking about the industrialist, the businessman, the professional, among them educated people and the liberal middle classes. Okay, they all wanted that there should be, the meaning of liberalism is that there should be a individual equality. Individual equality of all before the law. It means they wants that everybody should be equal in front of the or in the eye of law. It means they want constitution. It means they want that there should be a particular set of rules and regulation which abided by all the people of the state or the nation. Okay. Next, politically. Politically, they wanted that it emphasized the concept of the government by consent. It means they want a constitution and a government through parliament. Okay. At the economic front, the liberal nationalist or the new middle class people wanted politically that there should be the creation of the government shouldn't be limited within the people, certain people. It should be the functioning of the government, the framing of the government should be by consent. It means there should be a representative which will be elected by each and every people. It means constitution should be there and the equal participation so that people can elect their own representative. It means through parliament. They want there should be a parliament body. It means the monarchy system, they willingly to end the monarchy system from their reason. Okay. Then, so individually they want equality of all before the law. Politically they wanted that there should be the parliament system of government. And then for economic sphere, at the economic level, now we are talking about their professional level, that from where they are earning their livelihood or their surplus. At the economic sphere, liberalism stood for freedom of markets. Remember, freedom of markets and abolition of state imposed restriction on the movement of goods from goods and capitals. Okay, they want the liberalism means at economic front that the businessman and all the traders and the industrialists wanted that there should be a freedom for them, that whenever they are transporting their goods, services and their capitals from one region to another region, there should be the abolition of they have to be free, that freely they can move anywhere, okay, with the less barrier tax. And they want that the state impose whatever you can say barrier was imposed on the state, okay, they should be removed. Okay, they should be removed. They want that there should be a freedom of markets, that they can, their territory shouldn't be limited. Okay, wherever there is a need of their products or the goods and capital, they should be free to circulate or to transport them. Okay, they want that their markets limitation should be ended and abolition of state imposed restriction on the movements of the goods and capital. The new commercial classes wanted a unified economic territory. The new middle classes, the working classes want that there should be a unified currency pattern developed so that everybody will follow the certain unified currency pattern and it will smooth their transportation of goods and capital. Okay, they believe that if it will happen, so they freely, okay, they freely and smoothly transported their goods and services and their capital. So for the good and the proper flow of trades and its flourishment at economic level, they want that the restriction and the barrier restriction should be removed and the territory, you can say restriction should also be removed. Now, important, in 1834, a custom union, okay, in 1834, a custom union or you can say Zollverein was formed by Prussia. Okay, and the Prussia, in this term, Prussia has taken an initiative that they have developed the idea of a custom union, or you can say Zollverein, that, and it was joined by the most of the German state. And what was it? That which reduced the tariff barrier. Okay, these Zollverein removed the tariff barrier and reduced a number of currency. Okay, they reduced the variety of currency as they demanded the unified, you can say unified currency. Okay, so the, you can say, Prussia had taken the initiative to favor this idea, and under the Zollverein they unified, they developed a idea that they reduced the tariff barriers and reduced a number of variety of currency, and it was that they had reduced from 30 to 32 type of currency they have reduced, and they also removed the tariff barrier. So a new wave of economic nationalism. So you can see that from the now the industrialist, businessman, or the new working class are also taking the inspiration of nationalism from their side, as they want the freedom in their economic front, they want the freedom or nationalism in their, you can say, political field, and individually they also wanted to eradicate the monarchy system and to establish a one set of government. Okay, where their constitution should be there and everybody should be abided by the law, and so all it resulted a new wave of economic nationalism. Now you are talking about the economic nationalism strengthened the wider nationalist sentiment. So up to the 1834 and reaching to the starting of the 19th century, some of the German state, England and France developed a new middle classes. Okay, and these business classes also wanted to strengthen the idea of nationalism with the economic nationalism feeling, and to support the idea of nationalism in the rest part of the Europe. Now we can see that the people who were suffering from their unequal rights and opportunity, the peasant and the farmers, okay, the working laborers, serfs or tenants, are also joined by the new middle classes. So now we will continue in the next lecture that how now you can see the variety of people are joining this nationalism feeling. Okay, although their aspiration, their objectives little bit different, but again they all wanted that there should be a uniform law and structure and the government which should eradicate the system of monarchy. Okay, so we will discuss the next subheading in my next lecture. Till then, take care, goodbye, and keep watching the video. God bless you.